Hello, and welcome to this series on mobile application development. Before we go into the different projects and different apps that we will develop, I wanted to dedicate this video to discuss the what I would call app development process. By this I mean what are the steps that we will go through in order to finalize a mobile app from start to finish. The start here begins with thinking about a problem, a situation, a requirement that either somebody come to you with that problem or situation or you think yourself about it. So we will call the step number one in this process is problem formulation. Every app that you can see on the store, every app that you develop, every idea that you have, first need to be articulated in the form of a problem, and we need to follow some steps to formulate that problem in a way that can lead us to thinking about a solution to that problem. So the next step is solution formulation. After we formulate the solution and we architect it, we understand the different modules that will be part of this solution, how they will work together, how am I going to go about making it work, we come to the third and final step, which is solution implementation. These three steps are the general outlines for a development or a problem-solving process called Simplex. If you want to learn more, you can research or Google Simplex Creative Problem-Solving Process, and you will find more details about these three steps. I am summarizing and simplifying the Simplex process for the purpose of this video and this series. This series is meant for someone with no development experience, although it could also be useful for someone with some development experience. So you can, now that you have the steps, problem formulation, solution implementation, how we put them together to create a process. You can say, well, I'm going to put them together in series. So I'm going to start with step number one, the problem formulation. When I am done with the problem formulation, I'm going to go to step number two, solution formulation. When I am done with the solution formulation, I'm going to go to step number three, solution implementation. And that could be useful. However, it runs into a major obstacle, which is the person that you're developing this app for. Once you formulate the problem, they have no opportunity during steps 2 and 3 to change that problem. Think about it yourself. If you have an idea for an app and you sat down and you formulated that idea, then you started to think about how to solve it, then you started to building the solution. Along the way, your idea will mature. I call it that your idea evolves. And we want to have a process that allows us to evolve the formulation of the problem, allow us to evolve the formulation of the solution and the implementation of the solution. If we put it together like that, it's not going to give us this opportunity. So how we would put it together? We put it in a circular way. So if we create imagine a circle like this, and we start with the step number one, occupying that space of the circle, and then step number two, occupying that space of the circle, and then step number three. If you start with step number one, the problem definition, formulation, moving into the solution formulation, then moving into the solution implementation, you notice that we're going in a circular fashion. Once you've done the solution formulation, you are ready to start another problem formulation. In fact, this is also called a cyclic or iterative. Here is the process, the full Simplex process that has a problem formulation step, a solution formulation step, and the solution implementation. Inside each one of those is different other steps, forming a full 8-step circular process. As I mentioned, you can look that up. The author or the creator of this process, his name is Min Bassador, and you can review his work. To put this together over time, once you think about an app, there is a timeline that starts. It starts from the time you thought, I'm going to start working on an app here. That's your start time. So what do you do in this beginning? You start applying the problem solving process, the first step, the problem formulation, the solution formulation, the solution implementation, and that will lead you to evolving the problem formulation. So you go to another cycle, and excuse my circles, and then that take you to another one, and so on and so forth. We can call this iterations. So you start with iteration number 1, and you can think of this, you are formulating the overall problem and thinking about designing your iteration path. Moving to iteration number 2, where you break down the problem into much smaller problems and you tackle the very first smaller problem. This could be the most challenging one, could be the most simple one. Everyone has their own way of breaking down these problems, and I have my own way, so you will see it, but you don't have to abide by what I am doing. You can and you will have your own style in working through these. Then you go to iteration number 3, and so on and so forth, and you can have as many iterations as you want, depending on the complexity and sophistication of the problem. In iteration 1, you evaluate this and you move on and you do the different iterations. So this is the app development process that we will follow in the upcoming videos. And our goal is to give you an introduction. It doesn't require any prerequisites, and it will be an introduction to creating mobile applications. Thank you.